right, it's super windy, but hopefully you can hear enough that we can get this done. But my plan is today to have this tractor all the sheet metal back on and pretty well ready to go. And we're gonna get started right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm the Oliver Man. This here 175 Allis Chalmers we've been working on belongs to Dad, and we're down to a few little things before we can put the hood on, namely this valve cover gasket and then starting tank. We need to plumb that up and get that all sealed up. So one thing I want to do before we get started is let's see if the tractor will start after we did our struggle bus of working on all of those whatchamies. Let's just try it out. Stay running. Yep. Beautiful. All right, so it looks like we might have actually fixed something for a change. And that, you know, normally that amount of time would have made it do that where it didn't want to start. And I don't see any visible leaks on anything, so I think we actually did something correctly for a change. So now the big struggle bus that we'll do first is this valve cover. It appears that somebody has, well, you know, done the thing. They put some silicone on, hoping to make her go. I also wonder how difficult that would be to just take that off, because if I take this whole hose along, it's gonna make it just slightly more difficult, because then I'll have to get it wedged under everything. It would just be easier if it was off. All right. I hear tin flapping, so that ain't no good. That reminds me I need to do something. All right, that worked. Very much simple, which is what I wanted. Okay. There's one. They like to use Phillips head screws, and I'm betting that the idea was that you didn't over tighten it. You know, there's only so much you can do with a Phillips head screw versus a hex-headed bolt that you can put a cheater pipe on and wrench it down as hard as you can. It's also only 4 screws, you know. Let's see. Really would be nice to see, to make sure that everything comes out of there that's supposed to. Come on! Come on, screw. Come on. Quit fighting me. Alright. Come on. How can something that leaks so profusely be glued so tight I can't get it to pop up there? Ew. Ew. That's kind of sludgy. That's not my favorite. I'm betting this thing went for a long time without any oil changing. That's what I'm betting. So we need to really clean now while we're in here. I mean, that would be the correct thing to do. we can try to keep some of the trash to a minimum. We're getting some. That should be kind of somewhere in there. There should be kind of like an opening. I could get it to fall through a little bit. This is a grimy, gritty mess. I did not. Oh, I should have anticipated that, but I should have known. I should have just known. I gotta get some brake clean or something. This wind is gonna be a struggle bus for us too, because it is blowing everything around. Not a whole lot of room to do much of anything here. See, that's actually crud on there. So we need to do some scraping. However, the other thing is, we don't really have room in here for, I don't know. I think we're going to table that for a minute. And the reason I say that, well, no, I don't know. I don't know what to do, friend. I thought about cleaning the valve cover up first so that it could be drying, but I don't know. We can work on something else. Oh boys, I gotta give this motor some attention though. Look at how thick a layer that is in there. I can't just not do that. Well, this went from a simple job to an hour of cleaning. Because I don't know any other way, you know. Yeah, this does not make me smile, but oh friends, I bet you thought I was exaggerating when I said it would be an hour's worth of cleanup. Well, it was about an hour's worth of cleanup. There was at least 3 different types of gasket sealer on this thing, and it was a trick, friends, to get that off of there. Also, the shape that it's made in is not really easy for cleaning, and I don't know, it's not perfect, but it should be good enough to do what we're doing. This is clean enough, I think. I don't know, time will tell. It's just nothing on this is easy to get to as far as making it like what I would like, but I think we can get by with it. It's still kind of sludgy looking, but I think I've done about as good as I can do there. So we'll just have to maybe have him change the oil more often in it this for a while to keep her cleaned up, you know what I'm saying. I guess what we need to do first before we get carried away is let's double check that this is going to work. I ordered it for this motor, but you know how stuff goes. Looks like it's going to go. It's just going to have to be very carefully clipped for a while anyway. And I should have enough stuff. Should have enough stuff. Stay there, gasket. See what happens. Certainly, I don't think it can be worse than what was on there. Clip them right over the... Let's get 4 of them to start with. Clip them right over the hole of the bolt holes. And then we'll go back and ouch. Oh, there goes Buddy the dog. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this gasket so far. Maybe I'll learn to love it, but sure. All right, we're gonna let this sit to the side. Hopefully that will do the thing we want it to do. I will switch it to this angle. This needs to go away and something new needs to go in its place, which I have laying right here. Also, I should probably see if I have, and I thought I do, I just got to go get it, a piece of new hose that we can cut up and just use new all the way around, because I'm sure that this is old and brittle. I'm probably not the greatest. Ooh. Well, okay. That still had fuel in it. I don't know why I'm shocked. I mean, what's this have on the back side of it? Is it a flathead? Red pliers! Red pliers! Come on. Well, this is going to make us go the long way around. Sure. Now, I looked out there on the internet land, and I could not find one just quite like this. Maybe they exist, and I just didn't know where to look. But I got the kind that fits a Fiat. So we're going to have to do some modifying here. We're going to have to find a way to hold it to that bracket, because this is what I got. Also, that bottom is super smaller than that. That's probably going to become an issue. Oh my goodness gracious me. Let's see. I'm not real worried about this. I thought I'd just zip tie it around there. But I am kind of worried about the sizing. And I wonder if I could go to town and find a hose barb that's smaller to screw into this the way this is made with fittings and such. Although if I just got my, I don't know. What do I want to do, friends? I thought I just put this on there this summer. Maybe I didn't put this piece on. Okay, so what's happening here is the hose clamp has decided to leave the chat and do that cool thing where it's coming apart the wrong way. So that's going to be a problem. Yeah, I put that on there this summer. But now I wonder if I can find a smaller one. Or something. I don't know. Alright, well this is 5/16 fuel line. And I think that's too big. I think 1/4 inch fuel line. If I could find some. I think that would be what I want, you know, because I just don't think that I don't know. I just don't. I'm not happy, friends, with that setup. So, yeah, see, that's 5/16 there. We might have to table that and go to town, and I'll take this with me and see if I can find something the right size, but I'm gonna have to leave pretty soon if I want to get all that accomplished. Once again, this simple project is going to take all day, because by the time I get back it's gonna essentially be dark in short order, so I won't get anything else done. That really sucks. I thought we'd have her. Let's see if we can put our gasket on now. And another one. Don't really like the design of this valve cover at all. I mean, only 4 bolts. It's going to be interesting to see if that actually will keep it from leaking, because I just have a feeling it's going to be prone to leaks. Alright, I'm going to see if I have anything on hand, anything at all that might be better suited for this, and if I don't, then I guess I will go to town and try. But I don't know, I just feel like we're not going to get there with what we got, but we'll figure it out somehow. Alright, we're back from town. I was enjoying the silence, but one red cow is not happy with me, I guess, so it's gonna stand over here and moo right in my face. That's okay. I got to looking around at how I was gonna mount my little tank, checked through my parts pile, and I found this little doogie off of a 1365 parts tractor. So I thought I'd just drill a hole in this and tighten this down. And that ought to be enough to hold it. What is your deal, cow? Go do something else. Go play, go run, go have fun in the sun, whatever. I bet I know what its beef is. I bet one of its children was one of the ones that went when I sold some. And it's probably ticked off at me because the last place it would have saw it was in this pen right behind me. And it's trying to figure out, hey, I haven't seen my kid in a few days. Wonder what happened to it. So yes, the average cow is just as attentive as today's parents. I mean, if your kid doesn't come home in a few days, maybe start looking for it. Alright, that's probably not perfection, but it's good enough for what we're doing, because it's not really going to go anywhere, you know. And do I even have to really do this way? Probably not, but I thought it would be nice to do the thing, you know. I'm trying to decide how I want to do my angles here so that I don't have a sharp bend anywhere. I got all new hose to do everything, and I also decided that on this, the easiest thing it's going to do is just to get rid of the fittings and slide the hose over top of the actual line, because it should have a little flare at the end of this, and that'll be more than enough to hold back. Know what I'm saying? If you don't know what I'm saying, it's okay. You don't have to. but I found this super exact size hose here that it's going to take. And so if I do this, then of course, of course, you know, we're gonna struggle a little bit getting everything just like we want it, because it's not gonna be set up just. There we go. But I was thinking, like, just cut a little end of this off. I got some clamps, and I'm trying to think if the Fiats even have clamps on that. They might just be press fit. I don't know. I don't remember. I think this is 3/16 hose, maybe, is what that worked out to be. But it's sliding over 1/4 inch brake line. Oh, maybe that's 3/16 line. I don't remember. I think it is. That's 3/16, and then the yeah, that's what I'm envisioning right there. I'll put that on here. Maybe we should probably get that 1/4 inch socket set. Be easier to do this. Let's mock it up, and then we'll go down that road. Hope I got enough of this. We're gonna go come on. Well, actually, what I might do, I might turn this a different angle. I might turn that where I can do something like that. Looks kind of ridiculous, but it, in the long run, I think it's gonna be what we want. Where did I just put the scissors? All right, so if my thinking is correct here, this is gonna go like this. We're recycling now, see? This clamp isn't very good. Can we get a better one? Do we have a better one? Doesn't look like we do. Looks like all of them are garbage. Maybe one of these new ones I brought along will do it. Yeah. Okay. That's gonna go in there like thus. And then, well, we're still in the same predicament here. All right. There we go. All right. There's our mock-up. And if it moves a little, it's going to be fine. It's all in there, tucked out of the way. And since it's in a factory holder for this style thing, I think it will hold nicely. Nothing should rub because that hood is nice and deep. So I guess I could move this down more should I decide that this is, you know, too much here. There. All right. I kind of feel like I might do some mods here. If I can cut a piece of this rickety hose. See, doesn't it suck that it's starting to get dark already? And it's not even, like, we're not even close to when I think it should be dark. Well, this ain't working like I envisioned it. Cow, knock it off. I really need to get a knife to do what I'm trying to do here, but I thought that well, Knutson. I need to get that little socket set, which is right over here, and then I'll see if I got a knife handy. Alright, have you been having fun listening to the animal sounds and whatever else? I probably cut all that out of the tape, so you're not just staring at nothing for much time, but yeah, basically I'm hoping that this will slide over this so that I can tie it to this using this zip tie. Red cow, you need to calm down. Your kid's on the way to becoming cheesy ravioli right as we speak, so I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. It's too late. Now, probably 1/4 inch is what we need here. The little socket makes it easier in theory, because I know it's shocking, friends, but these Chinesium hose clamps aren't exactly made to precision specs, and it gets harder all the time to just use a screwdriver on them because they don't want to play nice. Beautiful. Like I said, it'd be nice if that sat level, but it's okay. It doesn't have to. It's just one of those things, friends. And let's do these two. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're struggling a little, but not as much as usual, and not too bad. You know, we're on the downhill slide here. That didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it there, but we can make it work. I should have bought more clamps. That way I would have had more, but that's together. I noticed somebody here in previous life replaced the clamp on a radiator hose, and then I bet they slid that down and forgot where they put it, put the hose back on, and then realized, I don't know. Stuff like that happens, friends. So let's clean off our supplies here. Like, let's move them to another flat surface where we have to inevitably move them again a second time in a minute. No, let's pick the stuff we think we might need to keep. The rest of the stuff we'll take over to where we put it away. We'll try to start it one more time and let it run and make sure that all that is not gonna start pouring fuel everywhere. And then if things look promising, then we're going to go ahead and put the hood back on. All right, before we start, let's go ahead and give this some of Professor Fard Pounder's ethnic cleanser here. I think this tractor could use it. I don't know if we ever did that yet or not, but based on some of the stuff I've seen, I don't think that's gonna hurt it. Of course, we may not be able to because it may not. Ouch. It's not wanting to open, friends. See the little plastic thingamadooge that you pull? The little ring broke off. There. Drink up, pal. It's good for you. If a little is good, more is better, right? danger. Flammable. That's okay though. All right, with any luck, this is the last time we have to take this apart. Let's do this number. We'll let her run a minute. That probably got the cows' attention and they're all gonna come up here now, but I think we're good. Let's just say we're good. Yeah, moo. I'm about 99%. Uh-oh. Don't be smoking, little buddy. Why would you be smoking? Well, that ain't good. Seriously? Mother trucker, friends. That's not gonna work. Guys, your voltage regulator can't start smoking as soon as you think you're gonna put her back together. And here's the kicker. I have a brand new one of those in the box I just got from town that is for a service call. And so they're probably gonna get it before this one because I don't know. I need to make some actual money here. I can't keep doing the charity tractor the whole time. But why is the question? Why is it playing that game to me, friends? Everything is hooked up correctly. Well, I guess the slim amount of positive news here would be that technically I could put the hood back on because this won't affect the hood. But I'm gonna take the cover off of there and try to see, cows, just get over it. I'm gonna try to see what's taking place in here. Like, it doesn't look very good. The isolator rubber thing is not very good. I'm gonna have to look up the number of that. I don't remember what that is at Napa, but I'm pretty sure I can get it still. But this sucks. I mean, seriously, that I have to. It's pretty rickety looking, isn't it? And you know why this is doing this? Because the other day, Dad looked at this and he said, boy, that doesn't look very good, does it? And that's all it takes, friends. That's a recipe for you're gonna be fixing stuff. Okay, here's maybe potentially an issue. There's a wire that I bet, no, did that just pull out of there just now? Because green, that would be for the sending unit. Okay, let's turn the key on. Does the light not come on now? No. Let's put this back in there. Yep, that's it. Okay, so we need to fix that. But we need to figure out why she's smoking. It's charging, that's the... There, it's smoking now. Well, son of a Knudsen, friends. That is not what we wanted to see. But, like I said, I could go ahead and put the hood on. I'll take the battery cable off so that this doesn't sit here and melt down. But, yeah. Guess what? I guess you're going to get more 175 videos because that ain't gonna work. Now we have to fix that other thing that just combobulated off of there. That really sucks too, but somebody has... This tractor has had a wiring trauma, it looks like, at some point. But that's okay. We can fix it. It's just more stuff down the Sadness Express. I don't know why it waited till the end to do that. Maybe it's been doing that the whole time and nobody realized it. That's very possible. But the contacts don't look like they were stuck. Sometimes they, you know, sometimes stuff gets stuck and it'll do that, but I don't know. We'll put a different one on. I'll order another one and we will just go with it. I'm so frustrated now. I mean, I thought we had her done and it was gonna get to go home, but it's not. So I will order another regulator. We'll change that out because the alternator was charging fine. It's just obvious that something in this is not playing nice anymore, and I don't know what that is. I mean, they go bad. I mean, I don't know. That's happened before. This wouldn't be the first one. It doesn't look like the best end there. Is that the hot one all the time? That's probably the... We might do a little bit of rewiring, friends, while we're at this, or when we get the new regulator, because basically what you got here is this. Well, this is for that oil sender, so that needs fixed. But you've got one that is hot all the time, which looks like this feller here that they spliced in. Whatever color that's supposed to be, brown. But what I don't like is we've double spliced here in just short order. I mean, we got the end there, and then we spliced onto here with this plug, and this is kind of corrody. I've got new terminals of these, so I can just make a new wire from all the way there to here, and I guess that's what I will do. Then one of them comes on hot with the key, and then the other one goes up to the alternator. This one should be the hot with the key, I believe, and then that green one goes to the alternator. And I don't know what we'll end up doing before it's all said and done, but I just know that this ain't gonna fly like it is. We're gonna have to make that not do that thing, because fire, that ain't a cool thing. I just wanted to make sure that these wires weren't like rubbing, you know, like something has happened and they're shorting out against themselves. They kind of look like that, don't they? Or it looks like at one time something might have done that. But the insulation on each wire doesn't look like it's broke. It almost acts like there was another wire in here at one time that got hot and somebody has changed it out. and just left it. But I don't see any evidence that there's something bad going down. Look, there it's been spliced on twice. Oh, and I just pulled it out of there. I tell you, well, that's okay. What I would say is happening behind here, I would say that they split the one wire into 2 wires on that. Or no, maybe they didn't. Maybe one of them they have spliced to the cranking wire, and the other one they have... Something ain't kosher here in Denmark, friends. So we might as well sort it out now. Because that ain't gonna work, and I don't want to have a fire. So we're gonna do this right. We'll get this fixed up. Look at this abortion. Look at all these extra splices. That brown wire has been spliced multiple times. Good grief, people. If you're gonna splice a wire, just get with it and do it. Don't do all this. I mean, the green wire has 2 splices in it. So we're gonna make a new one all the way to here. That's foolishness to have all this kind of stuff. Why do we have just a short end of wire? Like somebody ripped it loose and then decided, you know, that's dumb, friends. That is dumb. So, luckily for me though, something you don't know, I was at the Co-op farm store the other day, and they had a whole shelf full of rolls of wire and had them on sale 50% off. And so I asked the guy, I said, how bad do you want to sell it? And he said, pretty bad. He said, make me an offer. And I did, so I bought them all. So I should have brand new wire to make this happen. But now, it is of course going to delay our day. And another sad thing I just realized is, I hope I don't have to take the starter off. Maybe I over here with the correct tools can figure out some little 1/4 inch socket or something to get in there to get that off of there. But yeah, so cool. Anyway, let's call this one here. This was a success today. So we accomplished what we set out to do, but we did find more sadness we didn't anticipate. But thank goodness we found it now before something so terrible bad happened. So I will get new stuff. We will splice wires from here. Like I said, normally I don't know that I'd probably just go from end to end, but I think it's acceptable to at least go to here, and we'll make it happen. But we'll splice on new wires, because if you've got 2 butt splices in, 8 inches of wire, that's a problem, friends. You don't need to do that. So we'll make it better, and I guess I'll bring you back in the next one. After watching what you just saw, do you feel like your IQ has dropped lower than your credit score? Well, there's no reason that both of us should be miserable, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That stuff costs you nothing, and it really helps me out. Your banker may not approve, but I know mine will. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.